We're going to finish up talking about how we can take care of our little furry friends. We're going to finish up here with mice, guinea pigs, chinchillas, and ferrets. So starting with mice, a pair of mice needs a minimum of 72 square inches of floor space and a height of about 8 inches. An aquarium that's 6 by 12 by 8 will work very well for a pair. Wood shavings are an ideal bedding, as they are for many of our pocket pets. They should be changed at least once per week. Mice do tend to urinate in the corners of their cages, so you can use cat litter and baking soda. You can either use them by themselves or you can combine the two, and that really helps absorb some of that strong urine odor. You don't want to use a water bowl. You need a water bottle. Mice will pee and poo in that water bowl, and it just becomes gross and contaminated and nasty, and it just doesn't work very well. So make sure you have a water bottle for your mice. As far as feeding mice, those commercially prepared hard pellets, just like we've been talking about for those other pocket pets, they work really, really well. But pretty much anything will work. They're not picky eaters, and they're not going to overeat. They can actually regulate their diet quite easily. Guinea pigs. Guinea pigs like to be able to see what's going on. They like to be out and about. Aquariums really make excellent cages. You want to avoid anything that's wooden, because the urine odor that soaks into that wood will build up and just become overwhelming. If you're going to keep multiple guinea pigs, each one's going to need at least 180 square inches of floor space. So they're going to need quite a big enclosure. You can actually house your guinea pigs outside after temperatures warm up to above 50 degrees. You can keep them outside beyond 50 degrees. You can certainly keep them inside even above 50 degrees. That's not a big deal. You can keep them inside year long, but if you wanted to give them some outside time, they can go outside once it warms up to about 50. If you are going to keep them outside, you want to provide about 3 square feet of running area, and you can just use chicken wire for your enclosure. Again, those commercially prepared hard pellets, really good way to go. They are vegetarians, and they cannot synthesize vitamin C in their body, so you actually do need to supplement vitamin C. Most diets include vitamin C for guinea pigs because the commercially prepared stuff, those companies recognize the guinea pigs' need for vitamin C, so for the most part, they've got it. But you can also buy vitamin C enhanced pellets. And those pellets will help supplement their diet, prevent scurvy. The problem with these pellets, though, is that they have to be used within 30 days. So once you open them, you have to use them within a month. And if it goes beyond a month, then you're going to have to throw them out. So you can also use things like fresh greens, lettuce, fruits, herbs, green vegetables, root vegetables like potatoes. You can also use clover and dandelion greens. They're all sort of like guinea pig favorites. Peanuts and sunflower seeds are really good treats, but if you feed them too much, they can actually lead to obesity. There's a very high fat content in peanuts and sunflower seeds, so that fat content just builds up in the guinea pig and they end up gaining a lot of weight. Guinea pigs will drink with their mouth full of seed, so you want to make sure that you're cleaning your water bottle tubes to prevent any buildup of food and bacteria. And they do consume a lot of water, very similar to rabbits, so you need either a 16 or 32 ounce water bottle. All right, chinchillas. So chinchillas may not be quite as common as things like guinea pigs and rabbits, but they are excellent pets. They are nocturnal, so they'll need a quiet location during the day. You can use a cage that is 14 by 24 by 12 for a single chinchilla, but if you want more room and just a better environment for your chinchilla, 24 by 24 by 14 will work better. If there's going to be any wood on the cage, you want to make sure that it is outside of the wire mesh or it will get destroyed. They do need adequate ventilation in a location that's not too terribly hot. Anything over 90 degrees will actually cause heat stress. You need small mesh wire that's less than 1 square inch to prevent losing any small chinchillas. Once they grow and they're bigger, that won't be a problem, but if you get them very young, you want to make sure that your mesh is of an adequate size that they can't escape. They need to be kept in individual cages or they will fight. and they will actually inflict serious injury on each other if they're kept together. So you want to make sure that you're keeping chinchillas separate. So if you are going to breed chinchillas, chinchillas are polygamous, so one male for several females. And the way that you do this is you actually set up a tunnel system for the male to go to different locations. And females, you can actually put a special collar on them that keeps them from entering the tunnel. So you keep your male without a collar, you put the females on the collars on the females, sorry, and then your male can travel in between the tunnel system and get from cage to cage, but your females stay separated. Chinchillas will need a bath twice a week, and you don't bathe them like you would a dog. You're going to take finely ground powder, and that will remove excess moisture and any oil. You can actually get volcanic ash from the pet store, and that works really well for this. During hot weather, so our North Carolina summers, baths are going to be needed every single day. You basically just put the powder in a small pan, and it's only about 2 or 3 inches deep. And then you want to leave the pan in the cage for about 5 minutes, and the chinchilla will roll around in it. So, like I said, it's not like giving your dog a bath. It's not very intense, but you put a little bit of the powder in a little pan, put the pan in the cage, they'll roll around in it, basically bathe themselves, and then you can pull the pan back out. Make sure you're not bathing them in water. That can actually very, very much stress them out. So chinchillas love raisins. That is one of their favorite treats. But if you're looking for just a daily diet, again, you can get a commercially produced hard pellet from either the pet store, I think Walmart sells it. You can pretty much find pet food at Walmart pretty easily. It works well. All right, our last pocket pet that we're going to talk about are the ferrets. So ferrets can be kept outside year long as they are protected from inclement weather, and you want to make sure that you're keeping them out of drafts, and you want to make sure that they're shaded in the summer, so they have some way to get under cover in the summer. If you are looking to keep your ferret inside, a cage that's 24 by 24 by 14 is good for just one ferret. And then if you're going to keep 2 of them, you want to make sure that it's 24 by 48 by 14. So you want to double that length. They do need larger water bottles, very similar to those used by guinea pigs and rabbits, either 16 or 32 ounce. Ferrets are escape artists, so pretty much anywhere their head can go, the rest of them can follow. So you want to make sure that any doors on the cages are locked. Also, if you're going to let them run around your house, make sure they can't slip underneath closed doors in your house, because sometimes they can if the space under the door is big enough, and if they can fit their head under there, the rest of them will follow. You want to make sure that their food bowls are kind of a heavy earthenware type of material so that they can't be easily knocked over. And you want to make sure that ferrets have ample stimulation. So things like rubber balls, squeaky toys, and plastic pipes will help ferrets. Ferrets like to tunnel, they like to play, they like to have fun, so you need to make sure that your ferrets are occupied. As far as feeding goes, they need a feed that contains at least 35% animal protein. You can use the commercial dry food to maintain gum and teeth health, but you want to make sure that you've got plenty of water available so they can supplement their diet with water. Young ferrets, if you get them very young, you want to make sure that they're being fed pretty much all they will eat at least twice a day. With older ferrets, you want to add about half a teaspoon of vegetable oil to their diet to aid in digestion. Make sure their bowel movements are staying regular, and also it helps maintain a healthy coat. That oil will actually come through in their coat, makes them shiny and soft. As far as treats go, you can use meat scraps, cracklings, fruits, red licorice. They like licorice. They're weird. It's okay. And also ice cream, but in limited amounts. All right. As always, please let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching.